Every time you click or log in or buy something online, you're building your digital identity. But have you ever stopped to think about who actually controls it? Well, today we're going to dive into a brand new model that promises to put you back in the driver's seat. So really, who's pulling the strings? With your online data. If you're anything like me, the answer is kind of unsettling. Think about it. Every single time you click one of those login with buttons, you're basically just handing over a little piece of yourself to some huge platform. They become the gatekeepers, the bouncers at the club of the internet. But what if you could just walk right past them? Okay, this right here, this visualizes the massive shift we're talking about. On one side, you have the old way, the platform-centric web, where big tech companies basically own your digital front door. But on the other, you've got this emerging, user-centric web, a world where you hold the keys. Imagine that for a second, an internet where you're not just a user, but the actual owner of your identity. This isn't just some small update, folks. This is a complete rethink of how power and trust work online. All right, so how do we actually do this? How do we make this user-centric web a reality? Let's get into the model that makes it all possible. And it's all about shifting control from them back to you. This whole new system really boils down to two big pillars. On one side, for the companies, you've got this thing called Social Networks as a Service, or SNaaS for short. And on our side, the user side, there's something called a Decentralized User Identity, or UID. We're going to break down both, but let's start with what this SNaaS thing means for the brands you use every day. So, first up, let's look at this from the company's point of view. This whole SNaaS concept, it's the big reason why you're probably noticing more and more brands trying to build their own little worlds online, their own communities and ecosystems. So what is SNaaS exactly? Okay, think of it like this. Instead of a company setting up a little stall in a giant, chaotic marketplace, like a Facebook or an Instagram, they decide to build their own exclusive boutique. It's their space. They control the experience, they set the rules, and most importantly, they get to build a real direct relationship with you, their customer. No middleman. Let's make this real. Take a look at Audi. They're not just in the business of selling cars anymore. They're building an entire Audi community. This is their own dedicated space, a central hub where Audi owners and fans can connect, share, and really engage directly with the brand. And having this direct line to their customers, it gives Audi some pretty incredible advantages. They can offer things that are genuinely personalized, like, say, customizing features in your car based on how you actually use it. And a huge plus, because they control that data hub, they control the flow. It's not just getting sold off to the highest bidder. And hey, this isn't just for fancy luxury brands. We're talking about massive retailers too. Look at Walmart. They're doing the same thing, creating a Walmart community. And what this does is transform shopping from just a transaction into an actual conversation with their customers. For Walmart, this direct connection means they can offer a way more personalized, way more convenient experience. Imagine getting recommendations or special offers that are actually relevant to you because they're based on your direct relationship with the brand, not on some algorithm spying on you across the web. Okay, so that's the company side of things. It's a pretty big deal. But what's in it for us? What does this mean for you and me? Well, this is where that second piece of the puzzle comes in. And honestly, it's the most important part. The Decentralized User Identity, or UID. This is the tech that puts you firmly back in control. So what on earth is a UID? The simplest way to think about it is like a universal digital ID. It's one single, super secure identity that you control. It can prove you're a real person, the whole KYC thing, but, and this is the magic part, it also lets you interact with all these different services privately, even pseudonymously. You get the best of both worlds, real verification and real privacy. You know what? Let's use an analogy to make this crystal clear. Your UNID is like your digital passport. It's the one thing that officially proves you are who you say you are. But think about it. You don't whip out your real passport for every little thing, right? No way. For specific countries, you get specific visas. And that's exactly how this works. Step 1. You get your one and only verified digital passport. That's your primary UID. Step 2. Let's say you want to join that Audi community. You apply for a specific visa just for them. This is what we call a sub-ID or an alias. Step 3. You use only that visa to get into their community. And the most important part, step 4, your passport, your real core identity. It stays locked up, safe and sound, totally private. So this long string of characters you see here, that's your primary ID. That's the passport. It's the verifiable anchor of your entire digital identity. But just like your physical passport, this is not something you hand out to just anyone. It's the foundation, and it stays secure. Now, here comes the cool part. For every single service you want to use, you generate a brand new, unique visa, a sub-ID. So you'll have one alias for the Audi community, a totally separate one for, say, your public transit card, and another one for Walmart. And here's the kicker. None of these services can talk to each other. Audi has no idea you're the same person who uses the transit system. That's how you kill cross-platform tracking. And this quote really says it all. The link between all the sub-IDs and the primary ID is known only to the user's own secure identity system. That's it. That's the firewall. You and only you hold the master key that connects all your different online lives. So when you put these two pieces together, SNaaS for the companies and UID for us, you start to see a picture of a totally new kind of internet. It's one where we're not just mindlessly scrolling and consuming. We're active participants. It's really about reclaiming our digital selves and creating a new, more balanced online world. This chart does a great job of showing how this is a win-win. Look, companies get to own their customer relationships and their data hub, but we, the users, get to own our primary identity and control exactly what we share. They get a verified user, we get one secure login for everything. They get controlled data flow, and we get to use pseudonyms that stop us from being tracked everywhere. It's a new equilibrium. So what's the big takeaway here? This whole model is about creating a direct, private, and trusted connection between you and the services you use. It's about cutting out those giant middlemen who've been running the show. It's an internet where relationships are built on trust and consent, not on tracking and coercion. And that, I think, is a future that's definitely worth building. But of course, this leads to a huge question we have to ask ourselves. As this model takes off, are we actually building a more private, more user-centric internet? Or are we just trading one massive walled garden for thousands of tiny little ones? The fundamental architecture of the web is shifting, and how we answer that question is going to define our digital lives for years to come.